back. And this is RealiTEA with Krista Marie. I am Krista Marie, and I am doing an episode. I'm going to call this a bonus episode of Whose Side Are You On? The Whose Side Are You On podcast. So this is going to be the Whose Side Are You On podcast. We're going to call this episode 2 officially. If you guys have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to me. Please share this. Please share this, guys. That's like really important, and I really appreciate like all of my new subscribers. Like you guys are really making me happy. It makes me feel good. But yes, please share this. And like I said, I'm putting all of the Whose Side Are You On episodes on, obviously on here. I'm going to record them live on here. But if you're listening to me on Spotify, Apple, or the podcast platforms, just please hit the follow there, over there. Please give me a 5-star review. If you don't think that I deserve 5 stars, you can leave a review. And I take constructive criticism very well. And I do not mind it at all. Just don't be mean. I know I have like my issues, but yeah, if you want to see this being recorded live, there's a live chat. You guys can come over to YouTube and check us out there. When I say us, I say me in the live chat, and you'll see my crazy hair colors and all that. But yes, so if you guys have not gone to Apple, Spotify, and all that, please do. Even if you don't want to re-listen to this episode, at least just give me a review or something, or a 5 stars or something. Like I said, even if you think I suck. Okay, I'll stop playing with my hair now. But again, this is going to be Whose Side Are You On? Might be a bonus episode, might be episode 2. I'm not sure. I put the first episode up already, and it will stay here on the YouTube as well. So I guess we're going to get started. I did this as Austen and Shep, because I think it's absolutely wild. I'm going to give you like both sides. I'm going to try to be fair about it. Actually, I think I could turn my fan on. Give me 1 second. It's really hot in my house. Right there. I had to cut this part out of the pot. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. It's probably hot in here. All right. So yeah, Shep, Rose, and Austen for all. Okay. Show Southern Charm. I know a lot of my YouTube people don't watch it, but if you do, I've been watching it since day one, and I've been watching Shep since day one. I've been watching all the cast since day one, just like Vanderpump Rules. And I feel like we have another scandal on our hands. It's just not as in depth. So what we have is Southern Charm. We're talking about Shep and Austen and Taylor and the cast. Shep was with Taylor. So there's Shep, Austen, Craig, Taylor, Olivia. Now, Olivia and Austen were dating. Shep and Taylor were dating for 7 years. A little background on that. They have been together. They were together for 7 years. They were dating. They were together. They were serious. Shep has never been serious with anybody. He met Taylor. She seems to be perfect. So I'm not really sure really why he cheated on her. So this is the thing. He never wanted to get married. He said that he just was going to be a bachelor for the rest of his life. And then he met Taylor, and they lived together, and he was serious about her. And this is my thing, even if he didn't want to get married, I think that's okay. Like, you don't have to be married. You don't have to have that piece of paper. You guys can, I'm wondering if you guys hear me okay too, by the way. Siri's doing something up here. Siri, you don't have to come up. I don't need you. Love you though. Hopefully you guys hear me okay. Let me check my sound, because usually she doesn't pop up. Audio, mic's working. Yeah, everything's good. Okay. So Shep and Taylor get into a relationship. She seems to be the perfect girlfriend for him. She accepts him. He accepts her. I don't remember her ever pushing to get married. I know that she now says that she wanted to settle down, knowing that Shep never wanted to settle down. So
understand. Being serious with anybody he met. Okay. Taylor, she seems to be perfect. So hey, I'm Siri. Not really sure why he didn't. Hey, why he cheated on her sister. The thing.
Hey Siri, can you please go away? Thank you. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that, guys. So that's funny that she knows a lot about it, because okay. Anyway, and Shep and Austen are best friends. So hey, you can hear everything's good. Hey Shay. Yeah, I see people here, but I don't see anybody in the comments, so I can't really say hi to everyone unless you say hi to me first. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe. Please share this everywhere, please. Even the replay crew, guys. All of the I'm getting of you guys are share your everybody's watching. The views are good, but it's not, the likes are good too, but they're not adding up. So if you guys don't like me, I'll take constructive criticism. But anyway, let's get back to the show because that's what we're supposed to be doing. But okay, so we have Austen Shep. They're best friends. Craig's also there. They're also best friends this whole time. I guess the entire, like the majority of the show, I guess for the last, I don't know, I guess it's been like 18, no, it's not that long, maybe 10 years, as long as Vanderpump's been on. And, you know, they've all kind of settled down except for Shep and Austen. So they end up, Shep is, like I said, with Taylor. He doesn't want to get married. And then we find out last season that he breaks up, or that he was cheating on her the entire time. After, you know, I don't remember anybody wanting to push for marriage except for the cast members. And like, I think they put it into Taylor's head that they had to get married. And not even like the thing is, even if they got married, Shep was still cheating on her regardless. So whether they got married or not, Shep was still cheating on her. And I don't think he was ever going to stop. And I think he said that because he just, you know, I think that he loves Taylor. But he just couldn't stay faithful. And he made a comment about lust and love. And he said, lust is something that happens. And I think he recognizes what he's doing wrong. But I don't think that I just don't know. She broke up with him and then she still wanted to work it out. But, you know, when we get to the part with Austen, he's with Olivia now. He was with Olivia. Now that becomes Taylor's very good friend, best friend. They became best friends in the beginning of this season, episode 1. And they're talking about like dating in Charleston and being single and how these guys dick them over and all this stuff. And, you know, Taylor is really obviously completely like, she's broken over this because she starts acting out. She's drinking a lot. She sees Shep for the first time. You know, what we find out is, you know, Shep went on a vacation, this long vacation. During that time, oh, hey, Norma. Austen and Taylor get cozy, close. Now, Taylor also goes on a vacation, hooks up with this guy, JT's friend that you meet JT. He comes in the picture. Now, so that's Shep's friend. He's hooking up with people there. Taylor's hooking up with people. She comes home and I guess she's hooking. Oh, see, this is alleged. Everything I said alleged. We don't really know if they hooked up. I think they're saying we find out that they did. So what my you study on is like, do we believe that it's, you know, are we on Austen's side of this? And he doesn't really have a defense. Are we on Shep's side? Or do you think that, you know, do you think they had a right to hook up? 1, breaking bro code. 2, the relationship was so long with Taylor, with Shep. It wasn't just like yeah, I do too. I feel like, you know, Shep did not want to be with Taylor. It was obvious. He actually even made a comment where he said that there's other fish in the sea because the guy JT, when they said, so they all go out to lunch, like all the guys, you know, and you have Austen and Shep and Craig and JT, and the whole entire lunch is poking at Shep to make him care about Austen and Taylor hanging out. And Shep's not saying anything. He's just looking at it. And it's obviously that it bothers him, but he knows and he says, I don't have the right to tell her who she can and can't hang out with. And Austen's sitting there. And like I said, I really don't think Austen has a defense here. 1, I don't feel like even if he knew that Taylor or that Austen didn't want to be with Taylor and how he felt about it, that's still, you know, his ex-girlfriend. But Shep doesn't say anything this entire time. So Shep's not really saying much, right? We get to the part where, you know, he does start to care because he then finds out that Austen and Taylor had a sleepover because JT comes into the picture and he's there at this dinner lunch thingy. And JT's like, dude, why are you, he's saying it to Austen. He's saying, Austen, why are you hanging out? That's his girl. And he's like, I am no relationship coach, but you know, Shep, you should have married that girl. She's perfect. Now, let me just tell you that we know that JT's obviously probably in love with Taylor. Okay. So we'll, you know, just that's a side note. It just seems like it. Austen is very uncomfortable because it's obvious that I think that they did hook up, but we don't know this at this point. But now in real life, fast forward, we do. But the whole time is leading up to, you know, Austen's not saying anything. He's not defending it. He's not saying anything. And Craig's even saying, Craig is their other best friend. Now there's all these other cast members, but they're all basically looking at Taylor like, oh my God, we didn't realize how broken she would be. She acted out last week. And I think that it bothers it bothers Shep more that she's hurting, not that he wants to be with her. And then now hearing from all like JT and Craig how much they've been hanging out, Austen and Taylor, now starting to get to him. But does he have a right to care? He doesn't really if it was anybody but Austen, right? Now, do we think that like when Shep says, oh, well, I didn't realize that you guys had a sleepover. He's asking Austen straight to his face, yo, like, did you kiss her? Did you hook up with her? And Austen says, no. He says, she's like, this is what Austen says. This is his defense. She's like a little sister to me. I'm extremely, they were extremely close. I'm reading the comments. They're extremely close because of our relationship and because she was also best friends with Olivia, who was Austen's girlfriend. So we also have to remember that Olivia is Taylor's friend. So if she hooks up with Austen, you're screwed. That's also the part of it that, like, whether you were hurt about Shep or not, and you wanted to get back at him, you forgot that you're friends with Olivia. And I don't think that she purposely forgot about that, but like I have a feeling, when she had that sleepover, that was when it must have happened or something. But we also found out too, and Shep doesn't know this yet, that she had sent allegedly a naked picture to Whitney. So to me, she's not doing any of this. If she did hook up with Austen or hanging out with Austen, whatever, because like I said, Austen doesn't have a defense. She's doing it to hurt Shep because we know that Shep doesn't care about being with her. And she knows the only way to get back at him is to, like what Katie said, run a train through. Run a train through. Oh my God, hold on, guys. I'm saying run a train through Tom. And I feel like Taylor is now going to run a train through Austen's friends. Or I'm sorry, Shep's friends. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, remember that, Taylor. Remember that. For the podcast side that's not watching this, I'm reading that we also have a live chat going. So, guys, if you do come over here to watch this, you guys will get a notification when I do go live if you subscribe to the YouTube. And that's when I'll record the podcast episodes that you're listening to. So, it sounds like I'm all over the place, but I'm reading, comments and stuff. So I just want to warn you guys of that. I did edit some of the last episode, but we're actually really a fun crew. So it is kind of fun to watch. I'm kind of a whack job to watch too. So you guys will get kicked out of it, I think. But but I appreciate all of the support. But anyway, so if you watch Southern Charm, you know that this is a really sticky situation. It's like a Vanderpump Scandal situation. Okay. Craig is even like, Craig has now been, he has worked the reality TV circuit. He's now with Paige, which I love them together. I think Craig has worked out the best out of all of them, but Shep listens to Craig now, right? Craig pulls Craig aside. Craig pulls Austen and Shep over at the bar. I don't know if they walked over there together, but no, I'm sorry. I think actually Shep got up because it was too much listening to JT, pound into his head that he should be caring and pound into Austen that he shouldn't be doing it. And all along, I know, and I'm pretty suspecting that Craig knows about the hookup because Craig, the whole time, the confessional was like, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good. And it seems like he was warning them the whole time. But like I said, I don't know why Austen's doing it. I know why it seems like Taylor's doing it. She's extremely hurt. But all of the perspective of Shep is, I can't tell Taylor who to hang out with. Absolutely, Norman. That's what I keep saying. There's no reason for Austen to do this. There's plenty of women in Southern in where they're at, right? In Charleston. There's plenty of friends for her to cry shoulders on because like she has all of them women there. They're so upset with the way how she acted because obviously to see your friend, lose it like that at that party, at Madison's party, it's not good, And even though Olivia at one point, Olivia is dating another guy on the show called Rod, named Rod. I call Rod, named Rod. He seems like a decent guy, but none of that really should matter because, again, we go back to girl code or bro code. Nobody's thinking about Olivia. That's Taylor's friend, who is Austen's ex-girlfriend. Austen's not thinking about Olivia. Taylor's not thinking about Olivia. Taylor's thinking about Taylor and thinking about Shep, and Austen's thinking about I don't know what. I don't know what, Austen, because I'm not on Austen's side. I'm not on Austen's side at all. Because of his friend, that's his friend, all he keeps saying is, she's like a little sister to me. I would never do that. He never once says, I would never do that to Shep. He kind of just says, I wouldn't tell you, because Shep does ask him, I wouldn't tell you if it was just a one night stand or something like that. And it's like, and then Shep's like, what do you mean? Like, why would you, like, he's like, you wouldn't tell me at all. Like, why, So do I think that Austen and Taylor should admit to it? Fuck no. F no. Sorry about the cursing. No. But they should have never did it to begin with. And somehow everybody finds out, I guess. I'm alleging this, I guess. I'm going to say alleged, but the whole entire time that that Shep is away, I guess Austen's hooking up with Taylor or hanging out with Taylor. I don't know. And like I said, I don't know why Austen's doing it, but I know why Taylor's doing it. It seems obvious why Taylor's doing it. And it's just crazy that Austen really is just sitting there, and it looks like honestly, his face turns bright red. Like, it is just so he cannot lie. When he was at the party, Madison's party, he was even like, he was crying over the situation between Shep and Taylor. And it's like, dude, are you in love with the girl? Like, is that why you're doing this? Like, are you in love with the girl? Because that's what it kind of seems like. Like, I don't know what other reason, except, like, he could, if he was just getting his D, like, that's not, there's plenty of girls in Charleston. So what is the reason that Austen should be doing this? When they're sitting at the bar talking to JT, Austen is like, why do you keep bringing this up? Why are we talking about this? Why are you digging it into his, why do you keep bringing it up? And it's like, JT's like, because, dude, you're not recognizing how wrong this is. And, first he's drilling it into Shep, that Shep, you should marry the girl. And I agree. But I don't think, listen, my whole feeling on it, they don't need a piece of paper. That marriage thing is not going to mean anything to them. Because if Shep's going to cheat, Shep's going to cheat. And I don't think getting married would stop him. And I really think that piece of paper in his eyes means that he just, I don't know. It means that, I don't know what it means. To me, that piece of paper doesn't mean shit. Like, I am married. Yes, I'm legally married on paper. Unless they want to do, like, they can always have a will too. They don't need to get married. Having kids now, I don't feel that. I think maybe if it happened, I don't think Shep would be upset about it. So I think maybe they could work that part out if they stay together. But Taylor even said that she wanted to work things out after she found out about the cheating. And it seemed like Shep didn't want to. And he did admit at the reunion that he was not in love with her anymore. But all that, again, I still am on Shep's side because it's just wrong, and it's messy, and it's effed up. There's plenty of men in Charleston. There's plenty of women in Charleston. They can go to each other. They can get support from other people. They don't need each other. She didn't need Austen's support. Now, another thing, though, with Shep also admits, though, that he was okay with them hanging out because he got to keep tabs on her. Now, that's effed up, but it's like, you could call her and ask her if she's okay. You don't need your friend. And to me, like, keeping tabs on her, like, okay, but if she's, like, no, Shep. It's not it's a small town. Like, he can figure out what she's doing. But he also went away he went to, like, Switzerland, and he was having his best life. But when it comes down to it, this is just one of those situations where it's bro code and it's girl code. It broke two codes. So, like, I really can't be on Austen's side because that's breaking two codes. That's just, that's an uneven, that's a lot of things. And we know that Taylor's extremely broken. Then that kiss or whatever they did is not going, hey, Juice, the Juice of the Radio is here, guys. If you guys have not, I had my first episode, I linked the Juice Radio, Talk Show Radio. I linked them in my description. I linked it in the podcast part. Please subscribe to them. They are very good friends of mine, and they, we all support each other here. And that's why I keep telling the podcast side that's just listening over on Apple and like Spotify, come over to YouTube too and watch us. You can watch the replay, or you can catch us live by subscribing, and then or you could just listen to the podcast. But the podcast is on both. So, like I said, I don't charge anything. I'm not, I don't have a subscription price or anything like that. Everything's free, guys. I just keep it on the podcast side just because I like to have, I don't know. It's nice to have the exposure over on that side too. So, and I love you guys too. And it's again, like not if you don't even watch Farm. Oh God, I just kicked the thing. You guys, that's what I'm saying. I tell the podcast, you come see how much of a mess I really am. You can tell by the way I am, like my ADHD, I'm all over the place, but you'll see me all over the place on camera too. It's quite hilarious, I think, but regardless what I think, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's happened now. And it feels like a scandal. Only I guess maybe there's not a whole relationship. And like, hey, you know what? There was scandal now that we think about it. There was no relationship in the end. There was no, hey, I hooked up with her. Guess what? We're really in love, guys. We're going to ride off in the sunset. Can you just be happy with us? Then maybe, yeah. Like just the same thing with Sandoval. If they were going to ride off into the sunset, I'd be on that side. I'm just not. Oh no, I wouldn't. I'm not with, it's obviously bothering Shep, whether he has a right to be upset about it or not. He's human. He was with her for 7 years. And Austen and him were best friends, our best friends, Craig's even like, yo, man, like, you guys are getting awfully close. Like, stop now. Warning him, like, something bad could happen, guys. Like, and hey, I don't care. Like, if you guys had a drunken night, to me, you guys are like 30 or 40 years old now, Austen. And I'm talking, and Taylor, I understand she's broken, but a drunken night at your ages, like your old ages and your whole life lessons, you've learned some lessons in life. Like, that is just something, you just don't get that sloppy. Like, how sloppy do you have to be to sleep with just do that? And Taylor, I get that you are broken by Shep, and you really want to break him. This is how to do it. Whether he has a right to be upset or not, she knows that he's a human being and that this is obviously, it's going to bother him. I mean, yeah, like, dude, and you know what, whether like he wants to admit to it or not, he would have stayed with Taylor, I think, and just cheated on her. I just feel like he was okay with what was going on. And if she had never broke up with him right before the reunion after the last cheating thing, I think that they would have stayed together. Unfortunately. And the cast knew about, not cast, let's say the guys knew about him cheating. And it's kind of sucks because it puts them in a bad position. Same thing with like Scandal, but like it's reality TV, but this was all done off of cameras. We didn't even pick up cameras for this. But we see in the next episode, that you see Taylor saying, look, you weren't in a good place you and Austen weren't in a good place, and me and Shep weren't in a good place. And she's like, well, wait a minute, what about me and you? And that's my whole thing too. Like, there's 2 codes broken here. And it's like, that I believe in that, like definitely there's thing called bro code and girl code. You just don't do it with your best friends, Now, look, they're saying that JT is in love with her. And, if JT hooked up with her, that would hurt Shep, but it wouldn't be like Austen, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. He's not that close to Shep. It's not Austen. And Austen needs to grow up. Like, he doesn't have any excuses. He doesn't have a set for me to even like defend him a little bit. I don't know how. There's no defending him at this point. I don't feel like, even if it's true that you are such good friends that you can sleep in the bed naked and not hook up, don't do that anyway, because what are you doing? You don't have to be friends with her. That's Shep's ex-girlfriend. Like, you just don't need to be friends with her either. And you know that it's wrong. Everybody's telling you that it's wrong. But if you don't think that it's wrong and you obviously now know that was why they didn't want that they were telling you that it wasn't cool and not to do it, because look what happened now. Done, look what you did. Allegedly. I'm saying, it's not like it was a relationship. It was probably a drunken night, but whatever. Done, look what you did. You should not hang out with your exes. And that is the whole question. I'm asking the chat. You guys can comment on the podcast side, on the whose side are you on podcast side, because this is whose side are you on. And guys, listen, I have to tell you, your side is depending on the polls. So let me just check them real quick. So let me tell you to go to the social media polls, go to my social media polls. I'm on Instagram. They're on Instagram. They're on YouTube. Everything is at RealiTEA with Krista Marie. Everything is linked in the description and all that, podcast side and this side. But you guys can check the polls all week leading up to the show, because that determines your side. I also dropped the call-in link, which that's if you come over here while I'm live recording this and you're not doing the replay, you can actually call in and talk your side, or give me your opinion, or agree with me or not agree with me, or tell me what you think, because I'm, I sound biased, but this is like kind of wrong. Like, I know this is not a time. This is just, I can't be biased. I just can't say, I don't know whose side I'm on. I can just present you both sides because, again, I'm me and this is whose side are you on, but it's also whose side am I on? So let me check the polls real quick. Earlier, actually, it was funny. I think earlier, hold on, let me see. There's one. I'll check social media. Let me check Instagram first. Okay. Instagram poll. Austen, whose side are you on? Wow. You guys are not on. Nobody's on Austen's side. Okay. So nobody's on Austen's side. It is 100% Shep. There's no people on Austen's side. Let me check the other ones of them. There's only the other one is on. It's not going to mean anything to them because if Shep's that's me talking. Sorry. Oh my gosh. So the poll in YouTube. Oh, 75% Shep, 25% Austen. So yeah. So I mean, that's your side. Like, I get it. Like, I'm sure you guys didn't really have time to really do the polls because I just did this last night. But if we do it leading up to it during the week, because I'm going to come back on Friday again to do another, like, I guess it'll be episode 3 of the podcast, but it's going to be another Fire and Ice, OC, and Salt Lake. And as soon as I get the episodes and watch the episodes, I will tell you who the, sides are going to be, who we're going to decide we're going to do. It's looking like this is probably going to be Southern time. It's going to be every Monday. I'm definitely going to do every Friday. So I'm probably going to do this same time every Monday, guys. So anybody that's on the podcast side or the side, I'm going to try to stick to this lunchtime schedule at 12. It's a Monday. But the people, most of you guys, if you're at work, you'll listen to me on your lunch break. The replay clue. I see the views. I love it. Thank you. Makes me nervous. Can't breathe. I don't want to talk about it. Thank you, Scandal, I should say. But, if you guys still continue to come back, I'll appreciate you anyway. But yeah, Shep says like, hey, like, I do care now. Now he's saying like it bothers him, but now it's too late because it done happened. It did done happen. This is only episode 2. It obviously happened off camera. And I'm just going to say allegedly because we haven't gotten to the part where we find out if they definitely hooked up. But if anybody is listening that knows anything more, like, did they actually hook up? As far as this episode is concerned, they haven't yet, or they have, but it hasn't been revealed. But it's obviously, Shep and Craig have a conversation away from Austen, and Craig's like, look, like, dude, you're acting like you don't care, but I think you do. And Shep's like, dude, I do care, and it's fucked up. He's like, I don't know what to think about Austen. I just have to take his word because he's my best friend. He's like, but he's fucked up. And Craig's like, yeah, he's fucked up. It's fucked up. And it's like, I think they both know at this point that something happened. And they don't know how to approach it. But Shep feels like it's none of his business. But again, just forget about the Taylor side. Just think about Austen as his friend. He did that, Doesn't matter if you want to be with Taylor or not. You have a best friend that is capable of doing something like that to you. Whether it's doing that to him or just doing something that messy in general, to hook up with a girl that you just broke up with, that you were with for 7 years, who's devastated over you. To me, it's like taking advantage a little bit, right? On Austen's side, getting drunk and doing it doesn't really like fly with me, because you can't walk into a courtroom and say, oh, judge, I was drunk. Sorry, I was drunk. So it doesn't matter. I was drunk. No, or I was at that. No, that doesn't work. Like, at your old ass age, that's the lessons that you should have learned a long time ago. Like, you can't just get fucked up and be that messy and hook up with ex-girlfriends. So, like, there's no defending Austen. Like, there's no defending Taylor. Even as devastated as she is over over Shep. I can't even. She has JT, I guess, to hook up with. You know what I mean? I feel so bad for her because I don't want to be like, you're effed up, girl, you're effed up. But like, tough love, we'll say, because like, I want her to be okay. And I hope she's okay. And I'm just going to like say, Austen, you're like a crackhead. Like, what is wrong with you? There's plenty of fish in the sea. Like Shep says, why are you hooking up with the one fish that he just let go? He just let her go. She didn't even get a chance to swim. And he puts his hook in her. Like, that's your dude's girl, basically. Listen, they were practically married, okay? They did live together. They lived like a married couple, Taylor and Shep. And so just like Ariana and Tom Sandoval, that piece of paper to me means nothing. You're like, in the eyes of whatever, you're married. Okay. You're common law married in like a bunch of states at that point, and it's like, you can get a will to say what you want done if something happens to protect that person. Shep also asked her to quit her job to travel with him 2 years ago, and she did. And that's another thing that's breaking her. She quit her job, her career, because I don't know why she keeps saying that she thought they were going to get married and settle down. They were already settled down. So, getting married to me doesn't, that's not going to solidify anything, because Shep's going to be Shep. The relationship could have stayed that way. She was happy that way. Taylor was happy with that relationship, the way that it was when she didn't know about the cheating, but the dynamics of it, because they were practically married. They lived together. They shared a dog. 7 years. That was his only relationship, his only serious relationship ever. Right? Hi, Terry. Don't worry about it. I love you. Love you. Love you. It's Mama Bear right there. I tell everybody, like, I have my family, but I also I call it my star family, but that's you guys. Like, my YouTube family, my podcast family. There's times where I talk to them more than I talk to people in my own life. Like, we'll be on here for a little bit, but we'll be in the DMs, and then we'll be talking for hours after that. Me and Aaron used to do that too. But that's what I mean. Like, I wanted to keep live recording. I definitely would never get rid of my YouTube channel. And I don't want to change the name to Whose Side Are You On? I've always had Whose Side Are You On segment, but now just made it a podcast. I was going to do that in the very beginning. I just now know how to put it on other platforms, and now I have the following to do it and not waste time. But anyway, let's listen. We're all in this thing, and it's like, I love to do it live. I don't like to do recordings that I have to edit. Like, I just feel like I'm talking to myself. I was a blogger before, and I was considered an angry blogger because nobody could see that I have a smile on my face, guys. That's another thing. If you're hearing this, if you're just listening on the podcast on Apple or Spotify, and you think I sound very angry, sometimes just come over and watch, because I'm not. I say it with a smile. It's just been, I've been watching these shows for years, and blogging was a thing that we didn't really have this. When I was doing it, this wasn't in my reality. This just came out 3 years ago. And I was like, bloggers became podcasters. That's how it was like an evolving thing. And I'm like, I'll be a podcaster. But I'm like, okay, at that time I was shadow banned and nobody was effing with me. And we're not going to talk about why, but believe me, I had to learn a lesson. I had to learn about keeping my mouth. I just kept, remember when Facebook started to ban people for anything, and then Meta bought them and they were bought a part of everything, and Google. Yeah, that's the whole thing. That was my evil twin. That was I'm not going to say her name. The harsh reality. She's gone no more. I'm the good one. I'm the good witch. I'm here. I'm RealiTEA with Krista Marie, and I'm not angry. And you can come over to watch me record this live, and you will see that. And also, when I talk about this stuff, guys, also, we get a lot of comments too. Like, people are like, you're so, take it so serious. Look, I'm not. When I put this device down, these people and their problems are not my problems at all. Nothing. We don't worry about these people and their problems. They're really not our problems. We just love, like, I have, the relationship, like, with reality TV. It's like, we're emotionally invested. Well, I am anyway. And the people that talk about this stuff with me. So, Whose Side Are You On is basically like the feuds that are talked about mostly, I guess, during the week or in the Bravo universe. And that's basically what we are arguing about anyway. Like, we're on here 24/7, not here, but we're on all the social media platforms 24/7, like Twitter and all that. That's just like, Sports Center. Sports Center goes all day long. You guys can talk about sports all day, guys, girls. Sports Center runs all day long. This is our Sports Center, If I could figure out how to do a fantasy football league with reality TV, or the Housewives, because this is basically, we're passionate. With the Housewives, I want to know how to do, if anybody knows how we could do this, fantasy football with the Housewives season. Like, I don't know how we would do it, but we have some good stuff. We have some good seasons coming up, especially for Who's Starting On. But it's the most talked about foods that week, and I discuss both sides. We've been doing that. I've been doing a lot of recaps, and bringing Bravo news, but I realize that there's so many channels that do that, and there's a lot of recap channels, which is great. And I go to them to watch the recaps, but I'm better at arguing for both sides. I can give you both sides. I can give you both sides fairly, and then tell you how I feel. I can tell you, like I said, I can tell you why I think Taylor did it, and I can tell you, Austen did it because he's messy and all that. And I feel like he's got there's something wrong with him, because, I don't know why. Yeah, at your old age, you shouldn't be doing that. See, and then I can say also, I love Austen. So I can be fair and tell you, the mental, why I think it happened. And I feel like I can give a good perspective that way on each side, because I struggled with mental illness my whole life. I've struggled with addiction, and I learned a lot of lessons. And why I've never done anything like that. I've done other things. I can tell you the psychology behind a lot of things that happened. It just, to me, doesn't, I know, I'm sorry. No, isn't he? He's not. I don't think Tom Brady's adorable at all. I feel like he looks really old, but that's just not even part of the subject. But anyway, in their old age, regardless of what they think that Shep feels about Taylor, this is not a thing that should happen at your age. Okay. There's no, oops, we did it. Oops, we kissed. It's just, she's also good friends with Olivia. Poor Olivia. Even though Olivia's hooking up with somebody else, Austen, nobody was thinking about Olivia. So I can't even back Austen on that either. Because it's not like Olivia hurt him. Olivia didn't hurt him. He hurt her. So not only did Austen go hurt her, he tells her, at the last reunion, I'm in love with you and we're going to have a relationship finally. And then he breaks up with her a week later and then hangs out with her best friend and allegedly hooks up with her. So Austen, what's wrong with you? He looks nervous as heck. You should be, dude. You should be. This is not this is a D move. It's a D move. It's a D move to everyone. It's a D move to Shep. Even if you think that Shep doesn't care and he's hooking up with this one or that one, Olivia. Taylor's a mess. Taylor's not in a right state of mind. Austen, that's another reason. There's just, she poor girl quit her job to travel with Shep. And listen, I think that they could have been okay. I'm not condoning the cheating, but they looked like a happy, settled down couple to me. I didn't know it was cheating. So I feel like it was the show. It was the last 2 seasons, and everybody in life pushing her to feel like she had to get married, had to go get that piece of paper. It wasn't going to change anything in Shep's eyes. Well, maybe in Shep's eyes, he feels like he's stuck. I don't know how any more stuck he could feel. They already lived together. Hey, Mimir. See, that's what I mean. I was telling the podcast side, Mimir, that they're just listening on Apple or Spotify when I upload these, that they can come over and watch this live or watch the replay and watch me record it live and see how much fun we are. And that we're, and see how much of a mess I am on camera. But, I've been doing this for, I don't know what, it's been almost 2 years. And I don't want to talk about it, because I feel like when I talk about it and I get proud of myself, that it's going to the rug's going to pulled out from under me. And then I also feel like maybe Scandal, it's only, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say I'm grateful and thank you. I think it was 12,000. I think 12,000. I'm not exactly there yet, but, and it's not a lot for 2 years, but it's a lot for me. And it was steady. It wasn't it wasn't just, so again, that makes me feel good, even though for the longest time I felt very in my feelings. I just felt like I almost gave up on this, guys, just recently. I almost gave up on this entire thing. I felt extremely unsupported and almost walked away from this. And I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And then I couldn't make a decision about the other podcasts and what I was going to do. And then I'm like, who am I to have 2 podcasts and a reality TV and a YouTube channel? Who do I think I am? But I was like, wait a minute, whose side are you on? Duh, make it back to the podcast. I know that because Housewives and Headlines podcast did very well. I had a co-host. Yes, it doesn't really matter. It's still getting downloads, but that's over there. And those episodes weren't over here, but these ones are. So these Whose Side Are You On, I'm going to do on here. RealiTEA with Krista Marie. That's the name of my channel. But the Whose Side Are You On podcast is broadcasted live on here and replayed on here. If anybody wants to come over from the podcast side, and uploaded on the podcast side just for that. And it's Apple, Spotify, and all the other ones. I didn't realize that. I do. I was listening to podcasts before, but I got addicted to watching live recaps. I guess this, and I like to interact. I also like doing this live because I love to interact with my, my friends, my viewers, whoever, whatever you guys want to call it, subscribers. Live, I dropped the call-in link that you guys can call in. I feel like you guys are part of my, my panel. You guys, I need your perspectives. You guys, you talk about it in the chat too, and that's fun. And nobody has to, I'm not saying you have to call on camera, because you guys have your own conversations in the chat. And, I need different perspectives. I want other sides. I want to hear if, because even if I give you my perspective, like I said, I feel like he's absolutely wrong. Absolutely. Like, Shep's wrong. I'm sorry. Austen is wrong. They didn't think about Taylor. Like, I want to hear if anybody else thinks I'm wrong, like, or whatever, just different perspectives, because we're not a cult. If we all agreed that's an occult, right? Like, if I just said, everybody has to agree with me or you got to go, there's channels like that. That reminds me, guys, I'm not talking about New Jersey this year. Just saying, I'm not talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey, just letting you know. Anyway, yeah, we're not a cult. I don't think we're cult people. So I don't think that everybody has to agree with me. I love hearing other perspectives. So, and constructive criticism, I don't mind that either. I mind you calling me names and stuff like that. Like, you don't call me ugly and stuff like that. Like, that's crazy. I'm asking for constructive criticism. Yes, I have ADHD. Yes, I'm all over the place. Yes, it's like a nervous thing when I play with my hair and I do all that. I'm sorry about that. You don't have to just deal with it. I tried to fix it. It's just me. Can't help it. I get extremely anxious and I get freaked. I'll be okay when I just see a couple people in the chat, and then I'll look at how many are watching. And then I start to realize how many people actually are watching or are going to watch. Then I start to freak out and I start to get all nervous and I start playing with my hair and I make myself look worse. But me arguing my points and arguing each side is something that I can do. And I like doing it and it's working for me. I think I'll get better at it, guys. So again, people that are just tuning in and have never even listened to me before, you'll get used to it. Hopefully I'll get better. I'm taking this more serious. I'm trying to, be a little more organized. I'm going to keep this on a schedule. Right now, I did Friday and Monday. I'm going to keep doing that. I do want to do another, maybe Wednesdays too, because I want to talk about, I'll do Who Started You On, but I want to do 90 Day Fiance. I want to talk Sister Wives. I want to talk Plathville. Maybe I don't have to upload all them onto the podcast site. I could, but there's other shows that I want to argue too. But I mostly, for Who Started You On, is a lot mostly with the Housewives, but I'm going to throw bonus episodes like this in there and we'll call them bonus episodes. But, as far as bringing the Bravo tea, maybe we could do that for fun or something. But to me, just recycling information. And I can tell you, if you really want Bravo tea and you want the truth, you go to Dana Wilkie. You go to Dana Wilkie's Patreon, which I will also link again. Dana is a friend of ours, friend of mine. It's Dana Wilkie. Her Patreon is Decadish. It's Decadish with Dana, or Dana Wilkie, just Dana Wilkie in her Patreon. And I will link it in here. She knows everything. All of the tea that you get outside, in social media, that you get on here, on YouTube or anything, even the tea, any housewife tea, she knows that same thing. She'll give you that same tea, but she also knows way more. She knows the people. She knows backstory. She knows the whole story. She gives you each side. She knows a lot, and she also gives you more. She knows even more. So, and it's crazy, but it's only it's $9.99 or something like that, maybe even less. But she also is on YouTube. She's also has the Decadish, her drama, daily drama with Dana podcast on Spotify. So she's everywhere. She's on YouTube as Dana Wilkie. She's on Patreon, Dana Wilkie Decadish, and she's on podcast. But I will link all of it. She is the one. I know. I thought that would happen eventually. I got really calm on. I got calm on. By the time I was after a year on Adam's channel, that I think I was watching some of them back. I was a lot stiller and calmer and quieter by the end of that. I was wow, I was really good. I wasn't interrupting anyone. I'm also by myself, so there's nobody to interrupt unless I have a panel. But you guys have also said to me, Krista is the only person I know that can have a conversation with herself. Basically, ask all of you a question, and then I'm answering my own question. I'm telling myself, and it's by the time I get the question out, I've answered my question, and I've basically talked myself out of whatever I was asking. But like I said, I'm trying to take this more serious. As much as I keep saying I want to stop, with the ADHD and stuff and all that, I don't think I smoke a lot of pot. I try, I would have to go back on my Adderall and stuff like that, and that's not going to happen. So we just got to deal with it. But I'm good, and I see the numbers. I appreciate them. I love my friends. I love you guys for showing up. And the people that are coming over from podcast side or going over to Spotify or Apple just to rate it, please. That'd be nice. Like I would appreciate that. Even if you guys like rate it, you don't have to listen to it again, but rate it. And if you want to leave a review and it's constructive criticism, I appreciate it. Or a good review, I don't care. Either or, it does help. It does really, really help. Even though I'm not getting paid by them yet, I would like to eventually get paid, and the numbers help. So Housewives and Headlines did well. So, hopefully this will as well. But again, either way, I never wanted to monetize. I'm just passionate about reality TV. I love doing this. I love all of it. It isn't about like how, it does feel good to see the numbers go up. It feels like, I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. And that's the way I started to feel. I really did. I started to feel like, okay, like I must be, like, I'm not what I want to be. Like, I'm just not that person. I'm not good enough. And I was about to give up. I really was. But I also had to recognize that I also was doing a lot of things. I wasn't, I had to rearrange, I had reorganize my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel was a mess. My playlists were a mess. I didn't realize a lot of the things that were making my, me not have views and not get a lot of subscribers was me. I don't do 3 things a day. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate that. Corey, this will be a smash hit. Thank you. It really was. When me and Aaron started this last year, I was seeing numbers go up from that. And I don't know why I didn't just continue to do it. I don't do like what YouTube expects from me. So they weren't pushing my stuff, but I did, switch a lot of things in the algorithm, in the part, where not the algorithm, but analytics. I switched that around and it's working, even though it was Scandal started it. If you hear any noise in the background, that would be my best friend walking in the door. She's being quiet, but I'm going to laugh at her because I should make her turn around and come over and sit next to me, but she'll kill me because you guys think this is only once a week you ever see me looking like this, guys. So even the guys come over from the podcast side, over from Apple and Spotify, if you want to watch me record this live and see how quirky and how I don't sit still and see what we're all laughing about, come over and see how much of a mess I am. But yeah, so anyway, when I started seeing the numbers go up, it did make me feel better because, and I actually made a decision where I can be, actually do this and stick to it and not just be all over the place. Again, recycling the Bravo tea is not something I want to do. Recapping was getting hard because, I blame the pot. I feel like it was hard with even notes, and there's a lot of recap channels, but I do this well. I argue both sides well. It was a hit before, and I recognized I wasn't pushing myself, sticking to a schedule and all that. So the last couple of weeks, I will thank Scandal for that, but I got recognized, and that's what was important to me. And, like I said, it was really never about money or numbers, but it feels good. And it feels like, when I do see it, I realize, okay, like I do want people, I do want people to subscribe. I do want this to be something. I do like having an audience because, again, I was screaming at my TV. I was this angry blogger. Screaming at my TV before I even knew what blogging was. We'll go back to like the early 2000s. And then when Housewives started, it's like, holy shit. Like I was really screaming at my TV. And then Jax Taylor came along and like, you hear Ryan Bailey say, this is all for you, Jax Taylor. That's how Jax Taylor is the reason I do this because that man is like he's like the dark night of my soul. Okay. He is what I used to be. And I recognize that in him and like, oh, he makes me crazy. But like, just because of him, I was like, he blocked me. So I had to find a way for him to hear me. So I was like, I'm going to block him, like dude would block me. And I was blocked by Jackson. I'm like, this dude, I got to find a way to hear me. And Teresa, I had to find a way for her to hear me. And then I got in trouble for letting them hear me because I was running my mouth too much on Facebook and how that happened. Well, my evil twin harsh reality was, I'm not her. I'm the light. Okay. So we're just, I know. There's there's some things I also switched around. I knew nothing. Listen, I never got help with this. I didn't know how to work the analytics. I did not know how to work the algorithm really. I was under the impression I was shadow banned. I also have been sharing a lot of my stuff. I was making reels. I've been making clips of my stuff. So there's a lot of stuff I was not doing before that I'm doing now. And I'm going to continue to do it because, I was like, oh shoot, like I could really make money. The money was like, okay, all right, well, maybe I can. Money is on the, that's the side thing. Just having, feeling like I'm not doing something that I shouldn't be doing, or like I'm trying to be something that I'm not, and regardless, dudes, podcast wars, breakups and stuff like that I was not, do I feel unsupported by some people? Yeah. But like, I'm not toxic like that. I can't talk about that for views. I can't talk about things for views. I can't do all that. Like Scandal, I like talking about because I liked it. It worked. But again, thank you guys all. I could keep this for an hour, but I could but I shouldn't because I'm just rambling at this point. Because this is Whose Side Are You On? And we did all as much as I can really say about Shep. I feel like Shep can say that he does, I don't have a right to be upset. Taylor can do what she wants, blah, blah, blah. You have a right to be upset with Austen because that's your friend. Austen, I don't understand what he did. He doesn't have a side. He has a side, but he doesn't deserve to be back. I can't find any good reason for him to do it. Taylor is an obvious mess. She's broken over Shep. We all see that now. He obviously knew that. And to hook up with her and she's in a worse state of mind than she is now, like, what were you doing? And again, hanging out with her, Craig said, guys, this isn't good. Stop hanging out. Like, it could lead to something like effed up. And guess what? It did. Allegedly. I'll say allegedly because I don't know, like, we haven't heard for sure on the show yet, but yeah. So yeah, and Taylor, again, the whole entire cast thinks this is a mess. So I don't, it's scandal to a point, but it's not like they, either they don't have a whole relationship, but either does Sandoval. By the way, is anybody watching Special Forces? Because I'm watching it. I'm going to watch it. I don't know I think it starts tonight or it comes on tonight. Sandoval was on it. I don't know. I'm interested. I don't know. I don't know why. I might watch it for 5 seconds. I might watch the whole thing. But, I'd like to see Austen now go on a show like that. Like, he needs his ass for this. Like, this is something that, like, and like I said, in your old age, Austen, like, you should not be getting messy, drunk, and hooking up with, especially Taylor. No. You don't even get messy, drunk, and be friends with somebody and hang out with her, and she doesn't sleep over your house. Like, that's where, like, it's like, wow. How did she sleep over and you didn't know? How did you not know? Like, there's no, she's in an awful state of mind. Like, she's obviously so broken over Shep. So I don't know what happened. I can't see you doing that sober. I don't know, man. If you did, that's fucked up. Like, you're not broken over Olivia. Again, you did that to Olivia. She did that to Olivia. There's all other aspects, just like everybody with Sandoval. They're like, what's the big deal? Everybody cheats. What's the big deal? And I'm like, no, the big deal is there's other layers. There's friendships that were broken. This is like the same thing. There's the friendship with Shep. Friendship with Austen, friendship with Shep, friendship with, like, she's friends with Olivia. That's, there's all of this betrayal. That's not just a hookup. It's not like, oh, we just cheated. They didn't even cheat. They just, I don't know what they did. But like with Sandoval, there's other layers to it. Like, there's just things that you don't do in your old age. And there's, especially, like, if you're not my friend, if you can get messy, drunk, and hook up with my girl I just broke up with, that is hurt and broken, then dude, you're not my friend. And me being from the way I am, I'm the wrong person to ask about forgiveness. I don't forgive. Like, I have a really hard time doing it. And I never have. Maybe once, and it bit me in the ass. But no, like, once you do something like that to me, or you really F me over, like, there is no reason the switch goes off and you're not out of my life. And I stick to it, and I always have. And it's like, this is one of those things. This is one of those things. I've lost, you could stop being friends over somebody for way less. So, like, this is, like, screwed. So I don't know what the excuse is going to be. I don't think that they need one, because there is none for Austen. Taylor, you owe Olivia, but oh God, man, like, I hope that you got help, because dildos and screaming and stuff, like, all that, I get it. Like, even like Craig, I'm going to take Craig's stance. Exactly what Craig is saying. Craig is like, because she flipped out on Craig last week and said, what about you? You know this, and Craig's like, you're obviously hurting. I'm not the one to cheat on you. And she's like really mad at him. But he said this week, I feel bad. I feel, I don't care that she yelled at me. I realize now how wow, she's not okay. And now we have to help her. Like, so that's how I feel, and he he didn't bring up Olivia, but like, he recognizes how hurt she is, and recognizes all this acting out is because of that. And how effed up it is of Austen to do that and hook up with her when she's in a state of mind. And Shep wasn't even around, but Shep, who cares? He cheated on her, whatever. Like I said, they were happy in their relationship and fine with the way it was going until the show and the cast and everybody said, telling them, and everybody like, you have to get married. When you get married, you have to get married. You don't need that fucking piece of paper. They were fine. They lived together. They shared a dog. They eventually probably would have had kids. They were traveling the world together. They were married. I don't care what the South says. Like Shep even said, this generation's coming. It's not like that here. You don't need to get married. People think us old heads are weird. They call us weird old heads. Like, being married and like, the generation like less, under me, younger than me, that does all the social media, like all that TikTok stuff, they called Oprah a weirdo. They said, I don't care how rich you are. You're a weird, like, weirdo. Get out of my face, weirdo. Like, you're canceled. Like, Oprah's canceled. Like, things are changing. So getting married is going to be like one of those things where it's just like, I don't think it has to happen. I'm already saying it doesn't have to happen. You can be happy without a stupid piece of paper. It's not even stupid. It's just, you can get a will. You can get all that. You can change your last name. You can legally change your last name. But that's just, that's just how I feel. They were already married, basically. I guess it was that whole stigma of not. And then again, it's Shep's. He's the oldest. He's the one that should be like worried about it. She's not, like she really wasn't until everybody else was. The cheating is the problem. So that piece of paper was going to make Shep stop cheating. And we know that. Everything would have stayed the same with that piece of paper. He would have still cheated. I don't think that would have stopped him. And whether she decided to stay with him, she even wanted to work it out even after that. So guys, let's just say that we're not on Austen's side, but I'm going to let this end now. But Corey and everybody, thank you guys. I see everybody. Guys, forget it. I'm like live. I forget to say this. I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on YouTube and live on Twitter, X, whatever it is. Don't know how much longer that's going to last. I'm trying to get on like Twitch and like Rockfin and all that too. But again, also please guys, on the whose side are you on listening, just the listening side. If you want to come over and watch me be weirdos, I will post my schedule. But can you guys please give me a 5-star review? Please hit the 5 stars. And if you don't like it, you can leave me a constructive criticism review. I'll take it. But the 5 stars, I mean, come on. I'm not begging or anything, just saying. But downloads, all that works too. But come over to YouTube side too and subscribe. It's free. I don't charge you guys any money. If I get paid, it's going to be on the other side from those people. Because, like I said, who am I? But no, this is fun. And I appreciate everybody. I see them all. And before I get any weirder, I'll let you all go. Love you. Thanks for coming. Oh, share the shit out of this, please. And subscribe. I'll be back probably Wednesday, but definitely on Friday to do Fire and Ice. And hopefully, who wants to come up and be my guest? Because I need a guest to argue with. Just kidding. If Aaron can't do it. But yeah, whose side are you on, guys? Please go over there to Apple and Spotify and all that. And all the other podcast platforms. All right. Don't know how to end this. Where am I ending at? All right, guys. Love yous. End the stream.